How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
All right, Will, happy Easters, man.
Happy Easters. He is risen.
Yes, look at, I got my Easter shirt on. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, as Paul Rudd says, you look like a cholo on Easter.
Yes, that's a phenomenal reference. Definitely look like a cholo on Easter. So, figured no fights yesterday, but we should probably still get together, gather on this beautiful Easter's day, and talk about the upcoming fights, dude, because this next month is absolutely stacked with fights. But before we do, just want to remind everybody, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, comment. Goes a long way. You can hear us on Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts, of course. Social media, Will?
Yeah, Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, obviously on YouTube as well. And then we have a discussion thread that we have on Facebook that is
MMA Talk Community by Story of the Fight Podcast. Again, if you're able to find it, it's pretty much guaranteed that it's us.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's see, we've been talking and kind of wanting to do like an episode for answering like fan questions and things like that. So if people want to, they can email us at the Story of the Fight on Gmail. The link will be in the description. DM us on Twitter or Instagram, or just leave comments on here. We're just collecting questions for an episode to just go through and just hit all the fan questions and stuff like that. That should be fun.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
send those in.
I mean, we should have a lot of questions really after this episode when we think about all the upcoming fights.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give an honorable mention here. April 7th, one on TNT.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Demetrius Johnson headlining. Co-main event is going to have Eddie Alvarez. So that should be pretty exciting. I think they're playing it back, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, gotcha. So it's not going to be technically live here when we're watching it?
Yeah, it's weird because when I look it up, it shows 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. But then I look it up on TNT and it's like live at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matches up or not, but
I'm not sure, but I like how, because kickboxing and Muay Thai and stuff like that has never really gotten its like footing in America. For whatever reason, because you see people who it's like, as soon as in an MMA fight, it goes to the ground, they're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to watch this anymore. Get back to standing, you know? But with ONE FC, they do Muay Thai.
Shout out to my dad.
Yeah.
He does that exact thing.
Yeah. In ONE FC, they do a mix of kind of everything. So what's cool is this fight, heavyweight fight, MMA, heavyweight kickboxing fight, middleweight MMA fight, then a bantamweight Muay Thai fight, and then the Eddie Alvarez fight, MMA obviously, and then Demetrius Johnson, MMA obviously. So I like that they're mixing it in because people will watch this. It's free on TNT, so people will be watching this. They've got Demetrius Johnson and Andy Alvarez. That alone will get eyes on it. Hopefully, them sneaking in kickboxing and Muay Thai fights in between MMA fights just can kind of keep that going. Because, man, kickboxing
it allows
is awesome.
Us Americans to dip our toes into it.
And people need to.
Taking a like into it. Yep.
Because
man,
I
miss
don't
Eddie
understand
Alvarez.
why. Yeah, man, I remember when we met him in the airport. Remember that?
Oh, super nice guy. And his wife, I believe her name's Jamie, was upset that he took pictures with me because they were in a hurry.
I was surprised that you asked for pictures because
because he had just illegally kneed Dustin Poirier the previous night. He had taken a couple shots. He had a giant black eye. Maybe I can find the picture and send it to Richard Casual so he could post it. But dude, super nice guy. Super nice guy.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah. So after that, on April 10th, UFC Fight Night. I believe it's is it UFC on ABC 2?
It is. Yeah.
And that's going to be
awesome.
Vettori versus Holland.
Yeah, Vettori versus Till. Till cracked his collarbone or something happened with his collarbone, right? I'm not sure the extent of it, but couldn't fight. Holland's like, I'll do it. He has risen. Second coming of Holland. His second main event. Just in time.
Dude, but like if you're Kevin Holland, what better way to just erase that last fight from people's memories, then
Mm-hmm.
just coming right back at it a few weeks later. And if
Mm-hmm.
he's able to walk away with a win, and that's a big if against Vittori,
Mm-hmm.
then all is forgotten.
All is forgotten, and he could end up being ranked higher than Brunson
He could.
after this fight.
Oh, that dude! How hilarious would that be?
I know.
How hilarious would that be? Then
Just
Dana's
like
gonna
Jesus
be
on
like,
Easter.
he had a mental breakdown, and then if he wins this fight, he's gonna be like, "Oh, I've always loved Kevin Holland and
I
his
know.
big mouth." It's like, come on, bro.
I
But
know.
on that same
This
card,
should be a great fight.
it should be. We have Smiling Sam Alvey versus Julian Marquez. We have Nina Ansaroff and
Marquez.
Mackenzie Dern for the mommest woman on the planet fight.
Yeah.
The fight I'm excited about on this card, though, not just Vittori versus Holland, Mike Perry
Yeah.
versus the Foo, Daniel Rodriguez.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for that one. Dude, this card is really, really, really good, though. Like, just going all the way up through it. Impa Kasangane gets the card started. He's had a setback with the crazy
Yep.
knockout. Scott Holtzman's fighting.
That was his
Gamrot.
first loss, too, right? If I remember correctly, Kasangane?
I believe so. Yeah.
When he
8-1.
lost to, was it Buckley?
Mm-hmm. Dude, Jim Miller versus Joe Selecki.
Jim Miller.
Arnold Allen in the co-main event against Sadiq Youssef. Both of them only have one loss. Kizriev, probably butchered that, versus Cal Dawkins is going to be an awesome middleweight fight. Cal Dawkins is legit, man. This card is crazy stacked. Now that I'm like just going through it again, like this is crazy. 15 fights and a bunch.
If it's
of
going to
them
be
are
on
bangers.
ABC,
Yeah, they went all out.
they got to make sure it's stacked.
Jack
After
Shore
that,
versus Hunter Azure. That's awesome.
We have
Jack Shore still undefeated. That's a crazy card, man.
It is top to bottom.
I don't know. I don't really know what like the buzz around this card is. The fact that I don't makes me feel like people are kind of sleeping on it. But dude, this is crazy. Going through it again right now, like I don't even know how to. It's a good
there's
card,
a lot of good
man.
fights. A lot of good fights. After that, on
Holy
April
shit.
16th, honorable mention Bellator, where we have Vadim Nemkov versus Phil Davis for the light heavyweight title.
Good old
On
Phil
the same
Davis.
card, you have Corey Anderson fighting, Paul Daly fighting, and local girl over here from the XKO area over here in Fort Worth, Dirty Desianis is fighting as well. That she's gonna be making
Oh,
her
that's your girl,
Bellator
right?
debut. That's my girl. Yeah, I love watching her fight. So that should be a fun card, dude. There was a lot of Bellator fights on recently. I'm not gonna lie, Will. I didn't catch any of them.
Nope. I watched the Pitbull finish. Where
I saw that.
I'm not sure who the ref was.
The
but
highlight.
Jesus Christ. Pitbull has him in the guillotine. Looks back, tells him he's out. He's like,
out.
no. Shakes his hand for like 10 minutes, and then decides that he's out.
He shakes his hand. He's like, dude, it feels like he's shaking back.
Yeah.
Like it seems like
Pitbull's
he's good.
like, no, he's out. Like we got to get this. Like let me let go. Like I'm scared now.
After that one, we have Whitaker versus Gastelum, dude.
Mm-hmm. This was
And-
supposed to be Whitaker versus Costa. Costa is doing whatever he's doing. Don't know what's
More
going
wine.
on there. More wine,
Drink
I
more
guess.
Dude,
With
but
an H.
it ended up being a banger now. Like this Whitaker versus Gastelum fight
Yeah.
is so exciting too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a really, really great fight. I'm super
Gastelum
excited for this.
Looked in some of the best shape I've seen him in a long time in his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like he has resurgence, excitement, and passion towards fighting again, and the process.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Embedded going
Mhm.
into his last fight, it seemed like he was trying to eat healthier, less tamales, maybe laying
Yeah.
off the weed a little bit. But dude, he looked pretty damn good. So I'm excited to see this fight.
Yeah, I'm excited too. That's a great matchup. I've always loved Whitaker. Bummed that the Costa fight fell through, but this is a great replacement.
Great replacement. On the same card, you have
Gerald
Mearshart.
Mearshart in the co-main event, and I'm not sure if that's final or what's going on there. If I don't know if they're trying to
mean,
retroactively make
He's coming off of a highlight reel knockout.
Yeah,
He was
I don't
just
know.
on the receiving end.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Mearshart, but the fact that he's, at least as of right now, slated as the co-main event makes me feel like they're trying to retroactively make the Khamzat win more like, Why can't I think right now? I'm having like a full mental
More impressive?
breakdown. Yeah. Like you got Drakkar Close versus Jeremy Stevens on the same card. You would think
Yep.
that would be the co-main event over Gerald Meerschaert. It just kind of seems it's just not what I expected, you know. Chase Sherman versus Parker Porter is a fun matchup. Obviously, Drakkar Close versus Jeremy Stevens is a fucking banger. That's going to be crazy.
You got Violent Bob Ross on there?
Violent Bob Ross, Alex Munoz, Bill Aljo fighting again. Super excited to see that again because I like this guy a lot. Fighting another Ricardo. Not as stacked this card as the next one, the one that's coming up, but the Vittori Holland one, but still a great card. Still fun. Tracy Cortez getting in there again.
I think the main event might have more title shot implication with Whitaker versus Gastelum than Vittori versus Holland.
I don't think so.
What do you think?
I don't think so.
For a title fight?
I think it makes sense rankings wise and the names and stuff like that. It makes more sense to have more title implications. But if Vittori can get through Holland, I wouldn't be surprised because Izzy has beaten all three of them, right? He's beaten Vittori, he's beaten Whitaker, he's beaten Gastelum. Gastelum was a definite win. Whitaker, definite win. Vittori, decision. Could have not really gone either way, but some people, I guess, could say Vittori won that fight. And it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
If Holland gets through Vittori, I doubt he gets a title shot. But if Vittori can have an impressive win over Holland, I wouldn't be surprised if Izzy's like, okay, there's still no real contender, but I'm not just going to sit out with the belt.
Yeah.
And I don't think he wants to fight Whitaker yet, and I don't know if he wants to fight Gastelum again. I don't know. I think Vittori, just because it's less recent, might end up being the direction they go.
Okay.
I could see that.
Well, yeah, I could see that too now that you lay it out like that. Now, after that, we do have
I don't know if I would agree with it, but
Anthony Pettis making his PFL debut
nice.
against Clay Collard, right? So, should be nice, just to fill in some time there with Anthony Pettis. That's going to be on the 23rd.
Yeah, and Marcin Held's fighting
on
again.
ESPN2.
Lance Palmer.
Yeah, you remember that guy?
Yeah. That's a nice little card.
Okay, so talking about stack cards.
Yeah.
After that, April 24th, you
Yeah.
have UFC 261.
It sucks that the main event is what it is, but other than that, holy shit.
Look, dude, okay. Usman versus Masvidal, I'll take it, right?
I mean, I'll watch it. Yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah.
The welterweight matchmaking is just dog shit.
Dude, Zhang Wei Li
I know.
versus Rose Namajunas.
Yeah.
Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Now, this is a formidable matchup for Shevchenko. Jessica Andrade.
Definitely her toughest.
Yes.
And that
I
division,
still
at
think
least.
Shevchenko wins,
Yeah.
but definitely not just a walk in the park for Shevchenko. Then
It's definitely tough. I could see it after the fact looking. I don't think it is a walk in the park, but I could see it looking like a walk in the park, if that makes sense. Because stylistically, this is the type of fighter that Shevchenko praised to fight. Someone who just plods forward like a tank and is swinging wild and stuff like that. So that Shevchenko can kind of just matador and set up these crazy counters and stuff like that. It's difficult. I mean, she has to execute it to perfection. I could see this looking like kind of a masterclass by Shevchenko after the fact. But by no means is it an easy performance to do,
yeah, and who knows, man? Because going into this fight, we'll see how dirty Andrade tries to make it. Just clinching up. I mean, if you're on Andrade's corner, clinch her up against the fence. Close that distance. Try to get some takedowns. Just whatever you can to just stay out of that long striking range that Shevchenko has.
Yeah, and I just don't know if she'll be able to, because Shevchenko's whole mindset is, I can't let you get close. I'm just going to bap, 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 bap every time you come in.
Chael Sonnen style.
Yeah.
Can't let you get close.
Can't get close. I could see that. I could see, because Andrade has great footwork to get inside, but man, Shevchenko with her reads, and especially this is going to be in Florida, big octagon. I could see Shevchenko just circling on the outside and just absolutely picking her apart as she tries to get in. But
dude, before Amanda Nunes leaves, we have to see a Shevchenko-Nunes rematch.
I know, yeah.
Oh, my God. But on the same card, you have your boy Chris Weidman versus Uriah Hall. Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute. And Alex Cowboy Oliveira versus Randy Brown.
Yeah, and Brendan Allen versus Carl Roberson is a great fight. This whole card is really good. Dwight Grant's on the second fight of the night is Dwight Grant. Let's get him higher. Every time he fights is so exciting.
For sure.
Yeah, the main card on this is now the transition matchmaking wise where fans are back. So we need to sell some tickets. And Endeavor, I think, is filing for their IPO or whatever, right? So they're going public again with their stocks. And they now own 100% of the UFC. So they're like, let's start bringing in some real revenue now that we can, So they're looking to put out some banger cards. They're trying to sell tickets.
Yeah. And I don't think this is good for the purists, for those people that just want to see.
Well, because we end up with Usman versus Masvidal again.
Exactly.
I mean, Masvidal, what has he done to earn a title shot? Guess what his last win was?
He's talked a lot.
His last win was Nate Diaz in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets a title shot. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
But it's something a lot of people want to watch.
It's still an exciting fight, I mean, it's still a fun matchup. It's just.
Do you think it's going to go any differently, though?
No.
Same here.
Yeah, it could. It could. If Usman is disciplined, it will not go any other way. I could see him coming out trying to prove, like, oh, you want to fight me now? You're full camp or whatever, without your built-in excuses, and then trying to prove something. But if I don't know, I think Usman mentally is very strong. I think
Usman mentally, dude, he got cracked by Burns, and it was nice to see how he reacted to that, man. A true champion, for sure.
Definitely.
All right. After that,
he should be able to smother Masvidal. And listen, man, everybody acts like Masvidal is like the greatest thing all of a sudden, and he's looked very impressive. But the problem, like, he still has the same weaknesses. He has not addressed the weaknesses whatsoever. He's just become more offensively sound. And style-wise, they fight 10 times. Usman probably wins 7 or 8 times out of 10.
Yep.
It's just one of those types of matchups.
I mean, he might win more than that.
Yeah, he might win 10 out of 10.
Honestly, he might. Usman's so good, dude.
But Masvidal hits hard, and he has very, very good range. Like, he finds his range so quick, and he can stay on the outside and still land his power shots. So I mean, he could crack him, he could catch him, and Usman has shown that he can weather the storm and stuff like that and take big shots, but he can only do that for so long.
Yep.
I mean, his last fight before, what has he had? He's had his last fight was with Gilbert Burns, Masvidal, Colby Covington. So Colby Covington, dogfight, 5-round war, right? Masvidal didn't really have to face any adversity. Gilbert Burns cracked him, had to really dig deep in that one. So I mean, he's been hit hard, but again, that's only 2 fights. So yeah,
man, that Colby Covington fight. If I were to watch a rematch right now with Usman, I would rather watch Usman versus Colby Covington.
Yeah, I mean, Colby at least has a win since fighting Usman.
For sure.
Let's get Wonder Boy in there. Let's get Leon in there. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, dude, Wonder Boy. Let's get Wonder Boy for sure. Honorable mention after that, PFL, we got Rory McDonald.
The boy.
Yeah.
Shout out Rory McDonald.
Not much to say about that one there, though. But after that, we got your boy, Dominic Reyes versus
the future champ,
Yuri Prochazka.
Yeah.
The Man Dime. So, the Man Dime, Yuri Prochazka.
That's my boy.
When we talk about title implications, I think this would be a huge, huge win for Yuri Prochazka.
I think if he beats Dominic Reyes, you have to give him the title shot. You could argue Rakic, right? But man, it just...
Who does Rakic have lined up right now?
I don't know if he has anybody.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. I can't remember, but while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
Kutalaba on the same card.
Mm-hmm.
We have Augusto Sakai.
He doesn't have anybody
He's
lined
coming
up.
off of a loss recently. He doesn't?
No. Yeah,
Ooh.
Gusta Sakai versus Abdurakimov. Ooh.
Cub
Cub
Swanson.
Swanson versus Giga Chikadate. Dude, that fight is gonna be fucking amazing.
Yup.
That fight right there, that should be the first fight on the main card, just to like get everybody ready for what's coming.
Marab?
Devalish. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try it.
Yeah, just Marab.
Yeah,
Marab's
Marab.
fine.
With his stitches and his staples in his head, versus Cody Stammen. That's gonna be a grueling grappling fight. Both of them have excellent grappling, and
Then Sean
it's gonna be
Strickland.
fun. Sean Strickland's on there versus Christoph Joko. We watched
We
Joko
just saw him
fight.
recently.
Yeah. Strickland's awesome, man. I just want to see more of him, you know. Kai Kamaka is fighting TJ Brown. That's going to be a great fight.
I like that name.
Kai Kamaka.
Kai Kamaka for sure.
Yeah, he's sick. Jonathan Pierce versus Gabriel Benitez. That's a great fight. Yeah, man, some fun fights on that one.
Yep, and then
Herbert Burns was supposed to be on that card, but he pulled out. But
who was he supposed to fight?
He was supposed to fight. It was Herbert Burns versus Alex Munoz, and Munoz I think is fighting someone else. But the reason I think Yuri Prochazka is probably going to get the title fight off of this if he wins, right? And you could say I think a lot of people are kind of writing off Dominic Reyes, saying, "Oh, it was his fight against John Jones was probably the most impressive thing we're going to get out of him after his last knockout, right?" But I think he kind of went in there with the mindset of, dude, I beat John Jones. There's no way John Blachowicz is going to take me out, and kind of had a disdain for his skill and just didn't respect him enough.
Polish power, dude.
Yeah, he's going to come out trying to prove something, so it's a tough fight for Prochazka. I think Prochazka gets it done. But the reason I think he would probably leapfrog over Rakic matchmaking-wise is because Rakic had a not-so-impressive performance against Thiago Santos in March. Jan has now had some time to breathe since the Izzy fight. Prochazka comes out. If he comes out and wins in makes a real statement with his win, I could see them striking while the iron's hot. And no one's talking about Rakic and his win over Thiago Santos right now, right? If Yuri Prochazka comes out and starches Dominic Reyes, everybody's going to be talking about that in the main event, right? 205. It's had its ups and downs, that division, but still 205 is what kind of built the UFC. You know, the lightweight the light heavyweight division's legendary, right? I could see them striking while the iron's hot, going Jan versus Yuri, just going for it, you know?
For sure. I mean, we still have Glover Teixeira.
Oh, I forgot about Glover.
Wings. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get Glover in there. Fuck that. You know what could happen? Now that makes sense. You go Blachowicz versus Glover. If Yuri wins, him versus Rakic.
Exactly.
That's what you do.
Small tournament style.
Yeah.
And then the winner of Jan Teixeira faces the winner of Rakic, Prochazka.
Yeah, that's what you do.
And going into our prediction episode for the year, I did have Yuri holding the title by the end of the year, so they got to speed it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Get it going.
All right. So after that, we do have Verdum on the PFL May 6th. I mean, honorable mention.
Yeah.
Fabricio,
he's a legend. He's a legend.
You have May 6th, Fabricio Verdum. May 7th,
who's he fighting?
Juan Archuleta versus Sergio Pettis, some guy. And then Juan Archuleta versus Sergio Pettis, May 7th, Bellator. And then May 8th, so 3 days in a row, we got some fights. We have Corey the Sandman Sandhagen versus TJ EPO Dillashaw.
Yeah, that's Dillashaw coming back. I think that Dillashaw is going to come back and not look any different whatsoever, is my prediction with him. Everybody's talking like, oh, he's going to be shot, he's going to be worn out, all this stuff. Don't think so. Dude looks like he's in incredible shape. And
well, dude, he's probably still on the juice.
I mean, of course he is.
You know?
And Sandhagen probably is too. You know, like.
How dare you?
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
All these people taking steroids. I mean, dude, let's be honest, bro. I mean, they're professional athletes, dude. You know, you know what
Yeah.
goes hand in hand with professional athletes?
Yeah, being blessed
Honesty.
with good genes.
Yeah. Integrity.
Integrity, exactly.
Integrity to do
Dude.
whatever it takes to be the best.
I mean, I know it's kind of hard to tell, but when I take a look at the roster
Mm-hmm.
and I take a look at Sandhagen, I don't automatically think this guy's got to be juicing.
Yeah, okay, same person on, or another person on the same card. Do you get that vibe looking at Ben Rothwell?
No, that's a good point.
Did you get that vibe from Brian Ortega in his first couple UFC fights?
No.
The eye test, it doesn't always,
Yeah. I just feel like Corey has like zero muscle definition and he's so skinny. Rothwell, though, is just
Ortega.
like my uncle, like sitting on the couch drinking a beer watching a baseball game.
Yeah, but I mean, look at Ortega, Ortega looked just like a jiu-jitsu guy. He doesn't even lift weights. That's what especially when he first started,
Yeah, but that's the evolution of Ortega.
Yeah, but I mean, he was on like legit steroids. Like he wasn't on like some like estrogen blocker or like anything like that. He tested positive for like steroids, and I love Brian Ortega. I just don't think that's a unique situation. He popped. That's the difference.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that don't, and they might look unassuming and stuff, but bro,
say it ain't so, Sandhagen. Say it ain't so.
I know. Hey, and I love Sandhagen. I'm not trying to talk shit or anything like that. I'm just saying. Let's be real.
So you're taking the Nate Diaz approach, saying they're all on steroids.
Fuck yeah, dude. But listen, man. In a sport like this, we know there's a certain percentage of fighters that are on steroids, right? We just know it.
If you were to take a guess, what percentage?
Like 85% probably.
Oh shit. Okay.
And probably 95% of people in the top 10 of each of the division.
Damn.
Like, dude, it's just
the man dime, Yuri Prochaska.
Bro, of course he's on steroids. Come on, dude. You think that dude's clean, dude? Come on.
Chisel.
And this doesn't. And I'm not talking shit. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? If they're all on steroids, nobody's on steroids. That's my mentality on it.
Look,
I think it's gotten a lot less.
Every amazing athlete can be clean like Barry Bonds. Okay.
Exactly.
So.
Listen, man. Not everybody's Lance Armstrong.
Okay. Time out. Lance Armstrong was caught.
That's true.
Barry Bonds was not.
He never tested positive. You're correct.
He's clean.
You're right. But definitely on steroids, just like everybody else in every sport.
That's an assumption.
I mean, it's crazy to me to think that there's people like TJ and there's people who are some of like the biggest names that have tested positive, right? That there's no way that all these natty guys are also beating them. There's just no way, It's steroids. If you're on steroids, especially in MMA, dude, you have such an advantage. I'm not saying you can't beat somebody who's on steroids if you're not on steroids. You definitely can, right? That's the beauty
Triple
of the
C
sport.
beat TJ.
Triple C's on every piece of. Come on, dude was in the Olympics, dude. The Olympics are so dirty. Like,
how dare you?
Hey, and I'm sorry, DC. I love him.
You think DC's on roids?
I think he has definitely dabbled in it. Dude, you do not make it to the Olympics in wrestling without doing it at least once in your life. There's no way.
Oh, man.
There's absolutely no way. I'm sorry, like it sucks to say, but the only reason it sucks to say is because steroids have such a stigma to it, right? They're so attached to cheating and being dirty and all this stuff. And the reality is, everybody's doing it. So
you're evening out the playing field.
Well, not just that, but if everybody's doing it, what's so wrong with it? And like, where do we draw the line, dude? Like protein shakes and like all these other supplements and stuff like that. Those are performance enhancing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it. If they didn't enhance your performance, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched that Bigger, Faster, Stronger documentary?
No, but I heard it's really good.
It's really good. And so this guy's going through and he's talking about just what you're mentioning right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked this guy that used to be roided out powerlifter. He's like, hey, so do you think we'll ever get rid of steroids?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, dude, steroids are as American as apple pie.
Yeah, dude.
It's never going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Never going to
And
go
not
anywhere.
even just for America. Everybody.
Icarus.
Dude.
Another documentary. Icarus.
Yeah. Dude, so like, you're telling me that Russia has state-sponsored doping, right, for their sports and their athletes? Yet there's people who are beating them in all these Olympic games and stuff like that, and they're clean? There's no way, dude. When Lance Armstrong got stripped of his gold, how far down did they have to go to give gold to the next guy who hasn't tested positive?
Fuck, very far down.
Very
probably.
far. You know, I don't remember the number, but it's far, dude.
It's probably the guy that didn't qualify.
Yeah, he like didn't even finish that.
They're like, hey, did you won the Tour de France? Hey, Rich the Casual, is there, because Rich is into like competitive gaming, what do you, EA Sports, or what do you call it? Esports?
It's in the game.
Yeah, there you go. That goes to show whenever I did play games, it was just Madden that I played, okay?
And NFL Street.
And NFL Street. But is there any performance enhancers that are banned in e-games, Rich the Casual?
That's the one.
Because
Because Adderall, dude, it's just speed, right? So you're just hyper focused on what you're doing. There was a big thing when esports were really first like taking off. Like pretty much everybody was on Adderall. They were just zoned out.
It was like an epidemic of Adderall.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Dude,
learn something new every day.
Competition, performance enhancing drugs. They're tied together.
How can you get an edge? How can you get an edge over the next person?
And if you don't get that edge, you're not going to make it because there's some other person who is, and they're going to beat you out, you know?
Unless
Dude,
you're Barry Bonds and you just have God-given talent.
There's a reason why in baseball, the drug testing is you get tested at the start of spring training, you get tested at the start of the season, the All-Star break, and right before the postseason. That's when you get tested. Those are months apart.
There's no secret like USADA, like surprise.
So how about this? So there's random drug testing, and what the MLB does for random drug testing is, say there's 1,000 people. I don't know how many people are on the roster, right, for the entire Major League Baseball, but say there's 1,000 people. I think it's like 60% of them or something like that. There's a certain amount of them that get selected to be randomly drug tested throughout the season. The rest of them, they're only going to get tested on those checkpoints of the season.
Do you get notified?
If you get selected to be one of the random drug tested, they say, "Hey, Ramiro, you've been selected to be randomly drug tested throughout the season. You're going to get tested like an extra 3 times. These are the dates we're testing you. We'll see you. We'll see you then." It's coming. Come on, dude.
Dude, at that point, you just have to be reckless.
Cheaters? Yeah, and then every once in a while, they'll pick a big name, Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, like all these like random big names to. Oh, they tested positive. Look, everybody, look, America, we're catching the cheaters and we're getting rid of them. Everybody else is good though because they didn't test positive, but we're catching the ones that are. You know, like
yeah.
They just pick a big name every once in a while to say, "Look, we got them. Look, we're doing our thing."
So you are a doping conspiracy theorist.
Dude, at this point, is it even a conspiracy? Like, it's so blatant, dude. It's so blatant. They don't even test UFC fighters if they're not in America. Come on.
By the way, that's one of the first episodes we did. Go check it out. We talk about USADA loopholes. Let us know what you think. But yeah.
The production quality of this show has gotten much better since then.
Richard Casual. Shout out to Richard Casual.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's all I got. We did order some new shirts, Will.
Yeah. Look at that.
Story of the fight. Pride themed. Love
Pride
your shirts.
Never die.
We're probably going to be picking a few of our listeners to send out some free shirts this time around. So
definitely stoked on that.
All right. Do you have anything else, Will?
No. Exciting fights coming up.
Happy Easters, everybody. Thank you for listening to this week of Story of the Fight. We'll catch you next week.